Sandwich here. And I just read a great quote today that I want to use to just give you some thoughts for this weekend or for the next few days whenever you see them. Let me show them here. Good leaders are good learners. Well, sometimes I get the impression that some people who made it think they don't need to learn anymore. They just made it and it's fantastic, right? And interestingly, especially in the leadership career or in the top leadership positions. Well, for them, it's different in a way that they mostly do not need to work on their skills, but they need to work on their behaviors, which is a special task. But let me go deeper inside of that topic that I just showed you. Leaders are good learners. Why is that so? And that's an interesting question because good leaders know what brought them here will bring them further. Whether it is skills, whether it is speaking, whether it is something very specific, something from their field, it doesn't matter. You cannot sometimes develop further in specific or in specialities in your field, although there is always change. But what brought them here will not bring them further. Now, stagnations means regression. Everything changes all the time. And when they stop learning, they also start forgetting. They're always practicing what they know. And practicing what they know results usually in some behaviors and habits, which doesn't mean you go on with learning. It usually means you forget all the extras that you learned over time. Stagnation means regression. You're going to forget things. And then you're using the same tools all the time. Well, that's not really helpful all the time, right? So they also know those who grow will leave them behind. They will outgrow them. Well, that's something you do not really want to, right? That's something that might be scary because when you see other people grow, when you see other people develop, at a certain point, when you ask yourself, oh, what's going on? It's already too late because they developed much further, much faster than you did. And maybe you should think about that the moment you go into leadership positions, whatever level you are. The difference is just it's not skills, specific skills. The higher you grow into leadership positions, the more it's about interpersonal skills, communication skills, negotiation, and so on. It doesn't have to do with, let's say, banking, accounting, engineering, and so. Of course, you need these background information, but that's not what brings you further, right? So, science and knowledge are not an absolute. They're not an absolute. Science means the momentary knowledge we have. Science does not mean, well, that's it. We know everything. We know all of it. And we can see that in these times, especially in these times when everyone thought, well, no, now science knows how it works. And suddenly they realize, oh, there's much more about it. And the more they ask questions, the more answers they need to give, and the more questions come up. And it's the same in business. It's the same in every branch of any business around, even in politics. Although there it seems like politicians seem not to learn more and more. It's like they are more regressing. Well, depending on what they're going through, which is also a difficult field. I admit that. I think I don't want to be a politician. But on the other hand, when I see what is going on, Well, with some logical thinking, you could make some better decisions than some of the leaders on the world are doing now. But that's another field. Well, don't go into that at the moment. So knowledge is not an absolute. It develops all the time. Everything changes all the time. And when you're aware of that everything changes all the time, that means, and that's a law of nature, a law of evolution. Adapt and change, or evolution is going to extinct you, right? And that's not what you want when you're in leadership, right? When you're in leadership, you want to develop. You want to develop the company. You want to develop whatever you are into. You want to grow. And growing means you need to adapt. You need to change. Or evolution, whether it is in nature or it is in business, is going to extinct you. That's just a universal law. You cannot do anything against that. It's just the way it is. So adapting and changing means also you have to have a look to what is going on in your field, to what is going on in leadership. What are principles? What is changing? How can you better close people? How can you better negotiate? Although most of the negotiation strategies have been developed a long time ago. Most people just don't know about that. Why do I tell you that? Because in the Leadership Academy, this is something we are going through. How to adapt, how to change, how to watch things, how to see what is going on. Because when you're looking things always from your small perspective, the frog who is sitting on a grass halm looking for the next fly coming by, trying to catch it, potentially it sees, that little lake around him, and potentially it even sees the bird that is coming to hunt him. But, well, that looks like a nice scene. And suddenly you realize, when you go away, you suddenly realize, oh, he's just in an aquarium. Oh, and the aquarium is just part of a zoo. And the zoo is part of a small city. So the frog doesn't have any clue where he is. Oh, he doesn't care, of course, as long as he has some food. And sometimes I think people are behaving or thinking the same way. As a leader, you should always care about growing. You should always care about, oh, hi, Philip, hello. You should always care about where you want to go. That's why we are also working on your journey, on your shadows, on all of the things and aspects that are growing you or holding you back. And we are working on your confidence and then on your vision. Because if you don't know who you want to be as a person, as a leader, as a human being, as a family person, father, daughter, whoever, then you don't grow. And that's mission critical. You need to know that before you go even further. And I thought a lot about that. That's, the stage you have to go through. So think about that. Think about growing. And what we are doing with the Leadership Academy is we teach you how to grow and we train you how to grow in the best way ever. Think about that. I hope you like that. Please like and share. And don't forget the upcoming webinar, which is going to be for free. And I'm teaching some universal principles that if you get it, you can keep them for life in any situation. January 28th, 1 p.m. PST, and I will post a link. I would love to train you, and I hope I see you there. Bye for now, and see you on the other side.